this is Allison with Breezy Blessings, and it has been another minute since I've been on here and been able to record, but some good things and fun things have been happening in my life. But anyways, I'll share more about that after I share what we're going to make today. These are just simple journaling cards that have hidden spots in them, and I've seen similar things made, not this one specifically, but similar ones. They're made in different ways. I put these together without having watched anything else, so these are really, really simple. And I thought, you know what, if I could just talk it through, maybe the way that I talk it through would help you understand it. And I know when I watch different YouTubers and different crafters, that's how it works out for me, and that I'm like, oh, that made more sense to me when I heard it differently. So anyways, maybe this will be helpful. But I was working on this journal, making these, and thought, all right, I'm going to make two more and just share them with you. So this is the first one, and it looks just like a regular journaling card with then like a little pull on it, a little tab, and that's because that is in there. Now you can put anything in there that you want. I even thought about adding like a little, like a couple pieces of paper for like a little notepad on this that could slide in and out. You could do another journaling card, you know, decorative one inside of it, or folded up paper, whatever. But then of course you have journaling on the back side too. So that's the first one. And then there's this one that is actually a hidden journaling spot, and it has that journaling spot inside of it, and then of course the back side. So thought we'd make both of these together really quickly, and just if I can talk it through and make it super simple. These are the two journaling cards that I have. This is actually Tea Time. I forget exactly the name of it, but it is by Artie Mays, and it has really, really cute, like a tea time. This is one of the pages from it, and then this is actually another page from the kit. So cute stuff. It's an older kit that I had in my files. That's another page from it. And then, yeah. So anyways, I found it and thought, oh, it's cozy drink time in my world. At least the weather's changing, and so I thought a tea time journal would be kind of fun to make. So back to the journaling cards. Let's see, this one I think will make a really good hidden one, just because you really may not expect that to then lift up. So I'm going to put this one then on regular paper. So all right, so when I make journals in general, I pull out like papers that match, so then I just kind of toss them together, so then I have stuff to go to as I make my ephemera and put and assemble my pages. So, all right, I'm talking and I've lost track of what I'm going to do. So I'm literally just going to center this so that it has all of the edges. And all you have to do for this one is legitimately just then secure it down on these three sides. You could glue it, you can use double-sided sticky tape, you could sew it, however you want to do. Sewing it would make it a little bit more obvious, just because you wouldn't be able to do this side. So I'm going to choose to use double-sided sticky tape on this, just to make it quick and easy and not messy. Do make sure that you've got the right side. Of course, if you do the wrong side, there's really no wrong. As long as only the top, bottom, and the one side are down, then you can just use the other side as the opening. So it doesn't really matter what side your opening is, truthfully. Especially if you're going to leave the journaling card loose in your journal itself. If you're going to secure it down on a page, then maybe that matters more to you, just because you may not want your tab going towards the inside of your journal or the outside, however you're setting it up. All right, so we've got that. Secure that down. I do like to take my bone folder when I'm making sure that all the sticky parts are down. I'm going to cut this about the same distance around the edges. So just straight cuts there. Of course, you could round your edges, do anything you want to, rip it, however you want to work it. And I've got my little journaling card. It's cute, it's framed, but now I've also got an opening on this side. So now we want the journaling card that fits inside of it to not be any larger than it, of course. So actually this is probably going to work out almost perfectly for me. Let's see. The double-sided sticky tape is a little bit wider, so I'm going to just trim off a portion of this to make sure that it fits and doesn't get stuck to the tape. And then there. So then the super, like, really fancy trick, there's my fingernail. So I know that that portion was inside of it. So I'm just going to use that as my marker. Straight cut there. I could even use the same color to make my tab. I think I'm going to, just because I have this cut off. So let's just make a little tab out of that. Fold it. Okay, get it straight if I can do it here. And then I'm just going to glue that on. Easy peasy there. To the edge there. And I don't want to give it too much work, so I'm not going to pull it back and forth a lot. But that is just the super basic journaling card that then, whoops, see, I gotta let it secure there before I end up gluing it to the back side. But you get the point. It slides in. I'm gonna let it cure. All right, so let me just set that aside and then I'll slide it in for us to see. So first one's done. Second one, a little bit more complicated, but not terribly at all. So I'm going to use this as the back side. I'm going to show you again what we're going to make. So it's this that comes all the way out, but it looks like one solid journaling card on the front. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can remember how I did it. Right. All right. So we want to make, as I said, I want to make this so that it looks like it's literally coming apart, you know what I mean, in an area, because this has a straight line, I can make it look like it's really just one solid card, even more so than a patterned one, you know, through. I think you know what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to bring it to there, and that's where I'm going to secure just the bottom half to this piece. Okay, all right, let's do that. You know what? Determining on where to put the glue. So that's literally all I'm doing here. So I want to bring glue down that far. Again, super precise. You can measure this if you want to. I prefer to just kind of roll with it because if it gets too technical on me, I'm liable to not stick with it. So, all right. Let's scrub the rest of that leftover glue off. Push that on. Just throwing things around here. Okay, so that's securely down there. And then what I'm gonna do is I want you could cut this and secure the back. I'm gonna fold it. So I want to fold this portion in line with this. So I'm going to use my little folder do. That's definitely the technical name for this. And I want to see where this one comes, and I want to line it up. Put a good crease there and fold it back. All right. If you don't have one of those, I highly recommend. They sell smaller ones. That's just one I happen to find on sale, and I've used quite a bit in the last couple of years. So anyways, it's one of those tools. Once you have it, you own it, and you use it over and over and over again. All right, so now we've got this portion. So obviously we don't need this side over here at all. So I'm going to cut that off even with the card. I'm just going to cut it all the way up. We're done with that for now. Okay. All right, so we've got this. So clearly we've got to cut this part off too. All right, so this is the part where you got to get brave and just go, all right, I'm going to figure out how to reattach this and cut it off. All right, so now we've got the bottom half of the card and the top half of the card. And now we can determine that we want a little portion of the back side of the pocket to be able to hold this securely too, for it to like lean up against, right? So that's what we're going to leave here. I don't know, maybe right there. That's plenty. Okay. Again, this is not a precise measurement type of thing. You just got to make sure that there's enough up there to support the back side of your card. All right, so now actually this worked out for me because I've got this portion that will fit down into this most likely. And again, we've got to secure the pocket now. So it's entirely up to you how you do it. I'm going to go back. I don't know, what am I going to do this time? I think maybe I'll just use, you could use double-sided stick tape or you could use the glue. I think I'm going to use the glue on this one because I'm going to try to, that double-sided stick tape is kind of thick. And I'm thinking that I can probably get this on a little bit more thin and just be done with it. If you have, of course, regular white glue is fine too. This isn't going to have to hold a whole lot, so I'm going to trust that this glue is going to work for me. All right. All right, so now let's just make sure that this still fits down in there, and it does very well. Okay. The thing about this too is that you want to double check also that this isn't going to be too long because it needs to attach where this meets up. You want to do those measurements too. Okay, so you want to make sure that this tab or the journaling card portion of the inside, the hidden part, reaches the bottom before you attach this part to it. All right, otherwise you're gonna cramp, you know, keep going with that, and this is gonna like then try to overlap it. You know what I'm saying? All right, does that make sense? So make sure that this part reaches all the way to the bottom of your pocket before you attach this top part. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the top part just by purely using this as the measurement area. Again, you can measure it and pull it out if you want. I'm just going to roll with it right in front of me. Put it on. And yay, I'm right. You can barely see that it's even a cut portion. How fun is that? Okay. All right, so then at this point, if you have any like overhang, so like right here, I can just barely see, depending upon how this is sitting, this portion right here, you can trim that off if you want to. If you have any like overhang on this, you know, these edges from your back paper, you can certainly trim those off. I'm really okay with this because if this is down in here correctly, it's basically covering the entire thing. So I'm happy with that. So of course you can then embellish it however you want to. The fronts, on this one I just put a little sweet little bow that I thought complemented the greens and yellows. I may go back and put some other things on the other ones. But anyways, just super basic, but fun and simple hidden journaling spots. All right, so that one's dry now, so I can go ahead and put it in there, being careful not to get the tabs stuck on the back. So that one's in there. And there's all 4 of them. So I've got 4 journaling cards, hidden journaling spots ready for this journal, and yeah, that's it. So anyways, I thought I'd mention at the very beginning of the video that there were some exciting things happening, and it's true. My youngest son is in college and playing golf, and so my husband and I have been going to golf tournaments, and which is just an extraordinary way to launch into empty nesting. And my oldest just reported back to Cleveland Clinic main campus yesterday, actually. So he is doing some, basically what a lot of people would refer to as rotations, but he is ending his pharmacy school, so each month is different. So they're not technically rotations, they're advanced practice hours that he's having to complete. So anyways, super fun stuff in our lives and exciting stuff happening in our church, and we're just on board for what God's doing in our lives personally as well as around us. So it's exciting, and I hope that good things are going on in your life as well. This is the journal that I'm going to make. As you can see, it's an envelope-based. I really love envelope-based journals. It just gives you just a really substantial base to build on, and I really like kind of the flip-flop idea of them. And then also that you have envelopes that you can utilize if you want to. So like this one I've just left as a pocket area for this one, and then covered up the other 2. So this is going to be a journal, so a signature here and then a signature here. So not necessarily flip-flop in the sense that you can then go to the other side, but a trifold. That's the word for that one. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you make any, definitely tag me on Instagram at Breezy Blessings. That would be amazing to see what you've created. So I hope you guys are taking time to create, to be a reflection of our Creator, and having a wonderful start to your October. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.